What's going on, guys? Mikkel here, and today I want to jump into an XRP Ripple update. There's been some absolutely massive news broken in the case recently that I think has the potential to force the SEC to settle with Ripple in favor of XRP not being a security. There's also a potential massive breakout coming out on the XRP price chart, and I think it's going to perfectly coincide with the ending of the Ripple versus SEC case, so make sure you stick around for that. Guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure you like the video down below, comment what you think, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out so much and will help me devote more time to this channel in the future. So with that said, let's jump right into this video. So for those of you who don't know, over the last week, there's been some absolutely massive news in favor of Ripple in the Ripple versus SEC case. Today was one of the biggest moments in that the judge ordered the SEC to turn over 3 additional documents for in-camera review by the judge. The massive thing about this news is that one of those documents was actually an email chain between the SEC and a third party, being a crypto exchange, likely Coinbase. The significance of this is that in this email chain, it's very likely that the SEC was not sure of the status of XRP. This email chain happened in 2018, and therefore would be fair notice gold for the Ripple legal team. This essentially means that if in 2018 the SEC was unsure of the status of XRP, how would Ripple have ever known in 2013 that the SEC was going to rule on the fact that XRP was a security? Also, if Ripple watched all the way to 2015 and 2018, where Ethereum was deemed not a security, what's the difference between what Ethereum did and what Ripple did, and what makes Ethereum not a security and Ripple or XRP a security of Ripple? Overall, this is just proof that the lawyers at the SEC itself knew that this probably didn't make any sense, and because of this, they were really unsure of the status of XRP this entire time. Not only that, but the judge or the third party going against the SEC in this email chain actually indicated that they actually had legal advice from a securities lawyer saying that XRP likely was not a security. This is really massive, and Jeremy Hogan really points it out right here. He says, there was a legal analysis of XRP by the SEC in 2018, which analysis can only be one of 3 things. XRP is not a security, and that would itself would end the case, because right there, the SEC is saying it's not a security. 2, XRP may be a security. This is fair notice gold, because this was essentially say that in 2018, the SEC still had no idea what XRP was. So how could it be a security from 2013 to 2018 if the SEC itself had no idea if it was a security or not? The last option would be that XRP is a security, but if that was the case, why would they be trying to hide this information? They would be putting it right in front of the judge saying, see, we told them XRP was a security, so therefore I think this option is very unrealistic. So now that we understand that the SEC is likely going to have to turn over documents to the judge saying that they were not sure in 2018 if XRP was a security or not, I want to get into why I think this is so important. So the reason why this is really so important is because of the fair notice defense, and the judge really highlighted this in the importance of this in a couple of the telephonic hearings. Put one way, people have, and this is what the fair notice defense is put simply, people have a right to clarity to understand what conduct is punishable. Essentially what Ripple's arguing is if they were selling XRP from 2013 to 2018, and if the SEC never warned them and in 2018 actually stated they had no idea if XRP was a security or not, why would Ripple have known before the SEC knew if XRP was a security or not? What the fair notice defense is saying is that if the SEC never made it clear to Ripple that XRP would be a security, then they cannot be punished for the act of selling it. This is a very clear and straightforward rule that has the potential to absolutely shut down the case in its tracks if the SEC cannot defend Ripple from pushing this argument to the court. One thing that's very significant is that if Ripple ends up winning the fair notice defense, then it becomes persuasive authority for any crypto company that the SEC uses to point to from this point forward. If the fair notice defense survives and Ripple wins, the SEC is going to have an uphill battle winning any other lawsuit they bring. This is actually the reason why this fair notice defense is most important to forcing a settlement. The SEC cannot afford for every single crypto company they sue to be able to point to Ripple's fair notice defense win and say, wait, look, if they got fair notice, we should get fair notice too. This would make it impossible for the SEC to sue any other company. So if Ripple is going to win the fair notice, the SEC cannot let this happen. They will do anything in their power to settle the case because they would rather lose to Ripple and take that loss and move forward and get a win in the future than potentially lose every single other case that they could have in the future. There's a lot of scams in crypto and a lot of cases they can win, and the fact of the matter is Ripple's a company that's trying to do the right thing. So sacrificing every single case in the future just to try to fight this case to the end instead of just getting over the loss and going after actual bad actors in the future really doesn't make any sense. And one thing that the judge stated very clearly was that it does not matter what Ripple thought, it matters what the SEC thought. So if the SEC is currently going to be in the process of turning over documents that prove that the SEC had no idea what XRP was in 2018, then the judge is going to understand that it doesn't matter what happened before 2018. Anything before then could be justified by the fact that XRP was not a security because the SEC never deemed it to be. The SEC cannot afford to let Ripple win this. If Ripple wins this, the case is over. So for that reason alone, I believe a settlement is imminent and will happen before the judge rules on fair notice. The SEC is forced to turn over these documents to the judge by October 22nd, I believe. I am not sure if they will turn over these documents and then settle the case or settle the case before they turn over these documents, but I believe that the SEC will likely fight this until they realize that there is absolutely no hope for Ripple obtaining these documents. Once Ripple obtains these documents, or the judge obtains the documents, is able to rule on fair notice, in my opinion, the case is over. They will not fight through this because they will not risk losing every single other case in the future. In my opinion, the judge has made it extremely clear that this is the evidence that Ripple needs to prove that they did not have fair notice. And the judge even went so far as to say in one of the telephonic hearings that I was on, she said word for word, the type of information that is critical to the fair notice would be that if the SEC lawyers were out to lunch one day and debating whether XRP was a security or not. Well, it's actually much worse than that. The SEC actually has written proof with third parties admitting they had no idea XRP was a security or not. So in my opinion, this case is on its way out, and there's just been even more things too happening in the recent weeks, and we'll fly through these because these aren't as important. They essentially are that Ripple is essentially calling out the SEC because the SEC is saying that how are they supposed to essentially go over every single sale of XRP for the last 8 years and describe if it was a contract or not. And Ripple essentially came back and saying, oh, well, we assumed you probably would have already looked at all the contracts considering that's what you're suing us over, and actually said that the SEC seeks to discourage at least $1.38 billion in revenue generated by Ripple from those exact same contracts, yet says it cannot be bothered to actually read them. Here the Ripple lawyers are essentially just attacking the merit of the SEC lawsuit, and on top of all these other factors is just another bad look for the SEC. I don't think this is nearly as exculpatory as the evidence we covered previously, but it's just another thing that the judge is going to look at and just say, why would the SEC be entitled to this case if they couldn't even take the time to go through the investment contracts Ripple sold and describe why they are security. The last thing is that John Deaton was allowed to intervene in the case, and this is just going to put more pressure on the SEC as it further shows that the retail investor is actually teaming up against the SEC and going against them, and these are the people the SEC is supposed to protect. In my opinion, this is going to make the judge even more likely to rule in favor of XRP is not a security, because the judges are not going to want to hurt the 30,000 people John Deaton represents. In my opinion, just further puts pressure on the SEC and really just brings in a whole nother element and just changes the case in a way that they likely do not want to deal with. This is a recent clip from BitBoy Crypto, and while he was wrong in the past, it does kind of align with my own timeline, so I'll play it for you.
As we head towards the settlement for XRP, look, when's it going to be? Any day now, any week now. It's coming soon. It will.
So I completely agree with him. It
will be coming soon. Okay? Regardless. Definitely by the end of the month.
So I completely agree. I think it's coming by the end of the month, and I think the technicals actually are showing us exactly that. And we'll jump into this real quick before we end the video. So if you look at this triangular consolidation pattern, I've called this out a couple times. We saw it bounce around in this pattern back here before there was a massive breakout, and I highlighted this red zone where it actually didn't finish the triangle. I actually marked out this red zone right here in this triangle we're forming here just to show you guys that if we also followed a similar thing, which I think we would because we followed a similar pattern so far to the last one, we would probably break out before the end of the pattern, and this is just essentially to mark that zone. Therefore, I'm essentially watching between October 10th and October 31st for this to break out of this triangle, and I think this could perfectly coincide with the date that the SEC is going to come to the table and settle the case. If we look at this chart right here, I actually marked October 22nd, which is where the SEC has to hand over the documents between them and the third-party exchange, saying that they were not sure if XRP was a security or not. I don't know if they're going to hand these documents over. In my opinion, it's kind of pointless. I think it's pretty obvious that their fair notice defense is out the window, and I think this was kind of the final straw. This was likely what Ripple was after the entire time. I think this is what's going to force them to the bargaining table, and it just looks like it lines up perfectly with our chart right here. I'm going to draw out a little pattern for you guys right before I end the video. I think we're either going to come down here, just flatten out a little bit, and then boom, break out of here. Case is over. We go to all-time highs, and yeah, then I don't have to do videos on XRP every single day. But right now, when you have a region like this, you have price suppression. It's my favorite asset. It's my favorite investment right now, and therefore I'm going to talk about it until it makes me a bunch of money, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are still here, thank you so much. It really means a lot. And for now, Mikkel out.